So the first thing we're working on right now is we want to know what is the graph of y equals the negative square root of x plus 3 with a minus 5 on the outside. So to understand this graph, we first need to remember what is a parent function. So if you guys don't remember what a parent function is, it's the original graph for any equation. Let me just give you a quick examples. We already did this in other videos, but just as a reminder, it's basically the original. That's x to the first. If we have y equals x squared, that would be a parabola going up at 0. These are the original graphs. So for this one, for this problem, the original function will be just square root of x. And that square root of x looks more or less like this. You start at 0, and it's like a horizontal parabola. Well, now that we know how the graph is supposed to look, let's see what are the changes we have to do based on the added numbers and signs. Well, once you have a negative on the outside of the function, you know that's going to be a reflection. And when you have it outside, it's actually a reflection across the x-axis. So we're going to do a reflection across the x. The x is right here, guys. So if I were to make a reflection, it's basically going to look something like that. So we just did the minus. What else do we know? Well, if you guys don't remember, when you add something with the x, that means we're going to move right, left or right. That's a horizontal shift. Now, if you guys don't remember the formula, this is actually supposed to be x minus the number. So because that's a plus, we're actually talking about a negative 3. Well, the negatives horizontally, the negative side is always on this side. So we're technically going to move 3 numbers to the left. So from 0, we're going to go 1, 2, 3. We're right here. And finally, this negative on the outside, this is our vertical shift. The vertical shift, it moves up and down, and we move it based on what we see right now. That's a minus 5. So vertically, the negative numbers are down here. So we're going to go 5 down. That means we're going to go all the way to negative 5. So my point right now, this is a negative 3, right? My y is a negative 5. That's my point. It went from 0, 0 to negative 3, negative 5. So we continue our graph. It's going to look something like that. So that basically we just shifted it. Oh, I'm sorry. Not really. We said it's the reflection, right? So it's basically going to look like this. There we go. If we were to double check with Desmos, let's just double check with Desmos here. The original, remember the parent graph was the square root of x, the square root of x, and it's right there. If we were to do a new one, I always check with Desmos, guys. Negative square root of x plus 3 on the inside, get it out of the square root, minus 5. So if we were to look at these guys, there it is. That's the original at 0, 0, and that's the new one at negative 3, negative 5. So once you know all these rules, you know exactly how the equation and the graph should look.